Hello friends and welcome back to another Piano Lessons with Joel. We're going to get going right away in our Alfred's All-in-One course, page 33, Brother John. Get your left hand into C position. We have C, E, and G with our 5, 3, and 1 fingers, 1, 3, 5. And right hand begins on C. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, well done. Again, we had a new rest in that one, the half rest. And the half rest sits on top of that third line. Let's turn the page and get going with Merrily We Roll Along. Remember, in the left hand here in Merrily We Roll Along, we have tied notes. Again, tying the notes together simply means that we do not replay, in this case, we don't replay that left-hand chord in the second measure. We're going to hold on through. We'll talk a little bit more about tied notes in just a minute. Okay, let's get our hands in position. Again, C, E, and G down here with the left hand. And this one moves to the G7 chord, which was our new chord last week, wasn't it? Right hand begins on E. 1, 2, 3, play. For the G7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 4. Great. How are you making out with that one? Let me know how you're making out going to the G7 chord. Okay, moving that pinky down to the B there. Let's do this one again. I will not talk. I want you to count out loud. I will just play. All right, here we go. Left hand in position. Right hand, we begin on E with our third finger. 1, 2, ready, play. Bravo! I trust that that's going very well. If you need more time with that, stop the video, do a little practicing, go back and play it again. We will now move on to Largo from the New World Symphony. This melody is also known as Going Home. All right, so left hand again, we're in C position. We have our tied notes coming up. We again have our G7 chord. That's going to tie over to the next measure. And then we come back and we kind of do it again on the second system. All right. Right hand in position, starting on E once again. 1, 2, 3, play. Great. How are we doing with that one? Shall we do it again? One more time. Left hand's in position. Right hand, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's take a piano break here and talk about tied notes. At the top of page 35, in the pink box, tied notes. When notes on the same line or space are joined with a curved line, we call them tied notes. The key is held down for the combined value of both notes. So just as it says, we're combining the value of both notes. Now, we all full well know that there's essentially no such thing as a curved line, because a line by definition is straight. But anyway, we'll go with that definition, a curved line. So here in this whole note here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 beats. And think of a tie as a, well, we'll put it right there, just as a plus sign. We're going to add the next note to it, 2, 3, 4. Very important that the notes tied together are the same pitch. It's very difficult to tie a G or make a G longer by playing the note A, right? That would be called a slur. Looks the same, but a tie is between two of the same notes. We can tie all sorts of different note values together. So let me put up a few more here. To keep things simple, I've just used the note G all across here. Let's tie these two notes together. Okay, kind of it looks like a smile with a wink, right? So this would be beat 1, this is beat 2, 3, 4. Now if we're tying these two together, so that's 1, essentially 1 plus 2, this is going to get a total of 3 beats. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All those are tied together. Over here, let's tie the first two together. Okay, again, kind of looks like a smiley face. So we're tying beats 1 and 2 together. Over here, 3 and 4 is by itself. So 1, 2, 1 plus 1 is total of 2 beats there. Now, you might say, well, why not just put a half note there? In this case, you could put a half note, absolutely. Where ties really come into play, and where composers use them quite often, is actually, as you see in Merrily We Roll, where we're tying across the bar line. So we can, let's change things up here just a little bit. Let's pretend that tie disappears. Let's pretend that one disappears. We can tie across the bar line like that. And that's where the tie comes in very handy. We want to go across the bar line here. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we play that on the piano here, let's find the note G. We have 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, can we tie more than 2 notes together? Certainly, we can do this. As a matter of fact, we could quite literally tie all of these notes together because they're all G's. But let's not do that. Let's keep it a little bit more interesting than that. I'll start here one more time. Let's see what it sounds like. I'm starting on G, of course. Ready, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's just a little bit more about ties. We'll talk more about ties as we progress here, but I wanted to give you just make sure we had a little bit more understanding of the use of ties and how they can become very handy in situations such as this here. Now let's get on to page 36. We're going to start working on the B for the right hand. Here we go. At the top of page 36, introducing B for right hand. To find B, place the right hand in C position. Reach finger 1 or your thumb one-way key to the left. All right, so let's do that now. So here is our right hand C position. We have our C, E, and our G. And if we move our thumb one key or one position or one note to the left, there's our B. Okay, so practice that going back and forth. We have C to B, C, B, C, B. Okay, now let's do this. Let's play our chord, our C chord, C, E, G, and keep your, for now, keep your third finger on E and your fifth finger on G, and let's just move our thumb to the B like that, and then back to C, back to B, C, B, C. Okay, you get the idea there, so you can practice that a little bit more on your own. At this point, let's move on to the line just below that. Play slowly. Say the note names as you play. All right, we can do that. I have a better idea. Let's sing the note names as we play. All right, here we go. So starting on C, get your third finger ready on E, and your fifth finger ready on G, knowing that we're going to move to B, and then our fourth finger stays on the F there, and then our fifth finger again is on G. So your fourth finger and your fifth finger don't move anywhere. They don't have any new notes. It's just your thumb that's moving to the new note. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, here we go. C, E, G, B, F, G. C, E, G, B, F, G. Let's do it again. C, E, G, B, F, G. C, and there they go again, ending on that G7 chord. That kind of leaves us hanging just a little bit. Certainly does not sound complete. Okay, if you need to go back and practice that, please do that now. Take a pause, practice that for a minute or so, and then let's continue. C and G7 chords for right hand. It is very important to be able to play all chords with the right hand as well as the left hand. Chords are used in either or both hands in popular and classical music. Okay, so these are basically the same chords that we did with the left hand. Now they're just an octave higher. We're playing them with our right hand. All right, let's do it. So we have C, E, G, 1, 3, 5. Let's hear it. Playing them together. Now let's go to the G7. We're going to play that together. Go. And let's go back to C major so we can sleep tonight. Go. Yeah. And I'm not going to go over again where the 7 comes from. We did that in the last lesson. If you want to go back and check that out. And of course, we'll talk more about that later as well. 7 is just the degree, the scale degree, right? Practice changing from the C chord to the G7 chord and back again. The fifth finger plays G in both chords, as we talked about already. The fourth finger plays F in the G7 chord. And again, it doesn't go anywhere from the C position. It's staying right there on F. Only the first finger, or your thumb, moves out of C position down to B for the G7. Okay, so there's really nothing new there in those 3 statements. Let's do it together. Right hand, 1, 2, count with me together. 1, 2, 3, look ahead, go. 2, 3, let's go back to C. 2, and let's take the repeat now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, how is that going? I will suggest that right now it may be a little bit difficult for you. Take your time, slow it down. Again, stop the video here, do a little practicing. Okay, maybe just stop the video here and practice the rest of your time with those chords. Because now we're going to have a challenge. Let's do both hands together. We already practiced playing these chords with the left hand. Let's put hands together. So it will look like this. I'll play it. I'll play it first, and then you can play with me. Okay, so I'm starting with C, E, G in both hands. 1, 2, 3, and then we move to the G7, 2, and then we come back to C. Yes? All right, let's do it. So you can look right at the chords that we have in front of us at the bottom of 36, knowing that we're going to play the exact same thing in both hands. Okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, count with me and look ahead. 1, 2, 3, go. 2, 3, go. 2, 3. Let's take that by repeat. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. Yes, how did you do? I get so excited I can hardly talk, right? Okay, fantastic. Again, take your time as you're doing that, and stop the video. If just doing one hand at a time is better for you, fantastic. Just do one hand at a time. But eventually, let's work to get both hands together on playing that chord progression. Okay. Incidentally, we're in southeastern Pennsylvania here at the end of January, and we are getting ready for somewhat of a big snowstorm coming up, which is going to hit a good part of the country. So I'm hoping that we all have electricity come tomorrow, and I'm hoping that you make out well wherever you are in the country. By the time this video comes out, hopefully the storm will be long gone, and if you lose power during the storm, I hope it comes back to you and all is well with you and your family. Let's move on. Marianne, page 37, our last piece for this lesson. We've already done quite a bit for this lesson, so this will be our final page. With this one, moderately fast, we're going to take it moderately slow. Calypso tune. Maybe at some point we'll put an accompaniment together that kind of really gives us that calypso feel. We begin with the left hand, and then the right hand in measure 4 comes in with a G7 chord. Notice the half note in the left hand, the half note tied to the whole note. Okay, there's going to be a total of 6 counts in that beat. Again, going over the bar line. Very, very handy tool for composers. We have basically the same rhythm in the second system there, although the right hand goes back to the C chord. Going on to the third system, it's a repeat of, almost a repeat of the first system. And the bottom line there, the bottom system, we have again a tied note in the left hand, and then we have those chords, those what we call block chords, meaning we're playing them as a block all together with the right hand. Okay? Ready? Here we go. Third finger on E, thumb on G, and get that pinky, your fifth finger, ready to go down there on the C, and get your right hand in position. Okay, so when it comes time to play those chords in measure 4, you are ready to go. So we have our B, our F, and our G. 1, 2, count with me, go. 2, 1, 2, 3. you do. Again, if that's too fast, go back and slow down the video to where you need it to be. Let's do it one more time, and let me put on my different angles so that you can see my hand positions, my curved fingers, and so forth. And here we go. I have my third finger on E, my thumb's ready to go here, and I have my right hand in position here. 1, 2, ready, and go. 2, As we're working on these chords, we're really focusing on playing all 3 fingers at the same time so that we don't hear those chords broken up. And again, kind of lean into that, and that will help you play all those notes at the same time. Both hands. Okay. Lean into that a little bit. And that will help you play all of those notes at precisely the same time. Now let's talk about your homework. You're going to love this homework because what I need for you to do is go back to page 33. Continue practicing Brother John. Here's a Happy Song. We did not play through that today, but keep practicing that. Again, building our repertoire. I want you to continue focusing on your the B in the left hand and your C and G7 chords and that progression with the left hand. I want you to keep working on Merrily We Roll. Bring up the tempo of some of these a little bit so that you're playing with confidence, and it sounds like you're playing with confidence rather than guessing where every note is. Okay, and that's our goal, is to play with confidence so that we have a very cohesive piece of music that is just flowing from our fingers and out of the piano. Largo, beautiful piece of music, Largo. If you've never heard that, look that up, and maybe I'll do a little research on YouTube to find the orchestration of the New World. Beautiful piece of music. Then we're over to page 36 where we started today, and we're doing the C and the G7 chords with our right hand. And I want you to continue working. I know this is not in the book where we did our hands together on the C to the G7 and back to the C. I want you to keep working on that so we get our hands moving together. Okay, that might take a little bit of time, but I want you to keep working on that. And then of course we have Marianne on page 37. I don't think Marianne is going to be much of it's going to be too much of a challenge for you. Now I could be completely wrong, but I think you will be okay with that one, moving through that one kind of quickly. For next week, go ahead and start looking at page 38 and 39, the G7 chord for left hand and the G7 chord for right hand. And look at the different assignments we'll have there to write in. So that's not part of today's homework. Your homework starts with page 33. You're going to do a lot of practicing, and I don't want you to worry about writing things down, but I do want you to spend just time practicing, get your fingers moving at the same time, getting your fingers to do as you command them to do, right? Having command over your fingers, over your hands, over your whole upper torso to get the beautiful sound out of the piano. Okay? That is it, my friends. I know this was probably a shorter lesson than normal, which sometimes that's okay. Okay, you have plenty to practice, and I will see you in our next lesson. Until then, happy practicing, and thank you for joining me. Take care.